Hey guys! Today I'm going to show you how I made this really cute starfish keyring slash bag accessory, and I think it's super cute. And to make this I used just a standard acrylic yarn with a 5mm crochet hook, and I hope you enjoy and thank you so much for watching. I started off by making a slip knot and inserting a 5mm hook into the slip knot, and then I did 6 single crochets into that loop, and I made the slip knot quite wide so there's more space. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I then pulled the end yarn to close the hole, and then I inserted my hook into the first single crochet of the loop, and then I did a single crochet into that stitch. And then I did a chain of 8 stitches. I then began doing single crochets into every single stitch of that chain, and starting from the second stitch of the chain. So you should be doing 7 single crochets. So when I got to the end, I then inserted my hook into the next single crochet of that circle, and then I did a single crochet into a stitch, and then I again did a chain of 8 stitches. And then I again did a single crochet into every stitch of that chain, starting from the second stitch. And then I again inserted my hook into the next stitch of that circle, and I did a single crochet into that stitch. And then I again did a chain of 8 stitches. And then again I did a single crochet into every stitch of that chain, starting from the second stitch. And then again I did a single crochet into the next stitch of that circle, and then I again did a chain of 8 stitches. And exactly the same as all the other times, I then single crocheted into every stitch of that chain, starting from the second stitch. And then again I did a single crochet into the next stitch of that middle circle. And then again, exactly like before, doing a chain of 8, and then doing a single crochet stitch into every stitch of the chain, starting from the second stitch. And then again doing a single crochet into the next stitch of the middle circle. So once you've completed the first kind of row, you're then going to do a half double crochet into the first 3 stitches of this first leg. And I'm just calling it a leg, but I think the proper term is like a limb. I guess I have 5 limbs. But yes. So once you've done the 3 half double crochets, you're then just going to do single crochet into the remaining 4 stitches of that side of the leg. So once I completed that side of the leg, I then did a single crochet into the first 4 stitches of the other side of the leg. So once I'd done the 4 single crochet stitches, I then did a half double crochet into the remaining 3 stitches of that side of the leg. So once I'd done that, there should be a stitch in between each of the legs, and I just did a single crochet into that stitch. And then again, I just repeated the whole process that I did with the other leg, so doing a half double crochet into the first 3 stitches of this leg. And then again doing a single crochet into the remaining 4 stitches of this side of the leg. And then again doing a single crochet into the top 4 stitches of the other side. And then half double crochets into the remaining last 3 stitches of that side of the leg. then again a single crochet into that stitch between the legs. And again doing exactly the same as the other two legs for the rest of the legs, just doing half double crochets into the first 3 stitches of the first side of the leg, and then doing a single crochet into the last 4 of that side of the leg, and then again doing 4 single crochets at the top of the other side, and then 3 half double crochets of the remaining last 3 stitches of that side, and then remembering to do a single crochet in the stitches between each leg. And to do a half double crochet, if you don't already know how, use yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, and then pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. So once I'd finished crocheting that pattern onto each leg of the starfish, I then just did a slip stitch into every single stitch all the way around the starfish. So essentially doing a border of slip stitches, and I just decided to do that because it kind of held it together nicely. And to do a slip stitch, if you don't already know how to, you just insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, and pull through that 1 loop on the hook. So once I'd finished the slip stitch border, I then cut the yarn and pulled through and tied a knot, and then I began sewing on beads to the starfish. And I basically just got some white thread and started doing straight stitches all the way through the starfish, and every second stitch I inserted a bead onto the needle. and continued the standard straight stitch but with the bead through the thread. And as you can see, I am the worst at sewing, so I'm trying my best. I'm definitely an amateur at stitching and sewing stuff up. And as I said before, I just did about 2 or 3 straight standard stitches, and then for about the 4th one I would insert a bead onto the needle and thread it through, and I just made them like a smaller size, like decreasing in size of bead, because I felt that was kind of like what a starfish would look like. I'm not really sure, but it kind of worked. And then I just did a big bead in the middle of it. So once I'd finished putting all the beads on the starfish, I then just cut some of the yarn I was using and then threaded it through a darning needle, and then I just began sewing basically each end together. And I also made another starfish, I forgot to mention that, like another side. And then yeah, I just began sewing it together. So basically just stitching each stitch together along the border, and ideally you would do it like inside out, but I didn't want the beads to like fall off when I turned them inside out, because they were quite vulnerable. Well, I thought they actually were fine, like they haven't fallen off at all, but I was just a bit worried, so I did it the right way, facing me, and it was fine. So yeah, just sewing each side together. And I didn't do beads on the back of it, just because it was too much effort, honestly. So I just sewed the beads on the front side of the starfish. And as I got to the end, I left just a little bit left. I would say like 7 stitches worth I didn't sew together, so I had space to put in the stuffing. And I just began by inserting the stuffing into it like so. And you can see the needle and thread because I didn't cut it because I was going to try and shove it in the starfish so that you wouldn't see the ends. But yeah, so I basically just put all the stuffing in it. So once I'd inserted all the stuffing, I then just sewed the remainder of the stitches together, so just that little bit left, so that obviously nothing fell out or anything. And then I just cut the yarn and pulled a knot through, and then obviously cut it, and then I just weaved in that end to the inside. And once I'd finished, I just attached this like metal keyring tool, but I didn't actually really like it, so I'll show you how I made it with just yarn. So I just cut, I would say, about 15 centimeter length of yarn, and then I just pulled it through the top part that I wanted it to go through. So I inserted my hook, and then I just got the middle of the piece of yarn and then pulled it through like so. And then I pulled up a loop, and then I pulled through those 2 loose ends, and I just pulled it through that loop, so like that. And then I just tied those 2 ends into a couple of knots to keep it secure. And that was it finished. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you decide to make something similar for yourself.